I'm editing this video and my soul is full of grace and gratitude for the beautiful women that molded my life and taught me how to cook. Abuela Mamita's Budin de Calabaza, or Granny's pumpkin spice bread pudding. Let's make it, shall we? Welcome to my workshop. So the story goes that bread pudding dates back to the early 11th and 12th centuries, as frugal cooks looked for ways to use stale bread. It was very popular in England, hence the pudding traveled all over the world. People started creating their own different recipes, adding different and unique ingredients. This is my Abuela Mamita's recipe that I grew up with, and she had to constantly manage so the family would not eat it all at once. It never worked. Let's get started. So, like I like to do with my squash or calabaza, I roast it instead of boiling it. To roast it, I add a little bit of coconut oil, a little salt, and then I put it in the oven for about 30 to 35 minutes at 350 degrees. While the pumpkin is roasting, I'm gonna start with the caramel. In a frying pan or a small pan, I add 1 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of water, and 1 pinch of citric acid. If you don't have the citric acid, you can use a teaspoon of lemon juice or orange juice or lime juice. Put it in a pan and don't mess with it too much. Just shake it if you have to a little bit. We're looking for an amber color. We're not looking for a deep caramel color. In my case, I like a deep caramel color, but I didn't as deep as I usually do for the custard or the flan. But you're looking for an amber color, so it's not sour or anything like that. So you continue cooking it until you find that all the sugar has melted and that amber light caramel color has come, and remove it from the heat. Once you achieve the perfect color, then I'm going to pour it in a pan. You can use a square pan or rectangular pan. In my case, I'm using a bunt pan because that's the way Mamita used to make it. So you pour all the caramel on the sides, on the back, and probably you want to use some of the caramel on the middle chimney as well. And then set it aside and let's get going with the bread pudding. Okay, so for the bread pudding, I'm going to use the following. 3 cups of milk. I'm going to use 1 pound of the roasted pumpkin, 5 eggs, 8 ounces of white bread or any bread that you might have. And try to cut the crust or nothing too hard on it. 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1 pinch of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, and 1 cup of brown sugar and 1/4 cup of white sugar. Once the calabaza or the pumpkin has been roasted, we peel it, we cut it into pieces. We're gonna add it to the blender with the 3 cups of milk, and we're gonna blend it until it's nice and smooth. Once it's nice and smooth, we're gonna add white sugar, brown sugar, the 5 eggs, the 2 teaspoons of vanilla, the salt, the cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, ginger, allspice, and continue blender until everything has incorporated. Once everything has incorporated, we're going to pour this mixture into a bowl with the bread. We're going to make sure all the bread is being soaked with the mixture, and we're going to let it rest for about 30 minutes, making sure that all the liquid is mixing with that bread and everything is kind of nice and smooth, and some of that bread is breaking. Once the mixture is to your liking, I like mine very smooth, but you can leave some chunks of bread if you prefer it. If you like it that way, you pour it into your pan and then put the pan in a bain-marie and bake at 350 degrees from 45 to 60 minutes until a knife comes out clean. Then you're gonna let it rest for about 2 hours. Put it in the fridge or eat it at room temperature like that. I like to put it in the fridge until the next day, and the next day just turn it over into a plate with all the syrup and enjoy with some fresh fruit or whipped cream. Look at that beautiful bread pudding. It's smooth, sweet, it's delicious, especially for this time of the year. It will be a great addition to your Thanksgiving meal. So practice it a couple times and reach perfection. It's pretty simple to make, it's not really that difficult. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like always, it's done with a lot of love, and I hope you taste it and try it. Follow me, please, on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and here on Facebook under Chef Tito's Workshop. Remember that the full recipe, will be in my YouTube channel under Chef Tito's Workshop. God bless. We'll see you next time. Stay healthy. Ciao.